Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see fourth-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys as they match up with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. I'll see you again with scores and updates at halftime. But for now, it's my distinct pleasure to hand things over to our broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
Okay, Coach. Well, this place can get downright loud when the roof is closed, and that's the situation here today at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Brandon Gaughan along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
Marr now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Deshaun Watson ready to lead the Texans offense, coming off a great turnaround season in 2018. Remember, 2 years ago, he missed much of his rookie campaign with a knee injury, but he led the Texans to an 11-5 record and an AFC South title last year. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, here's Miller. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
A first down carry now for Miller. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 19 yards there on the catch and run. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys under head coach Jason Garrett as they get set for their first opportunity. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
It's so good to see big number 72, Travis Frederick, back in a Cowboys uniform. Remember, he missed all of last season with Guillain-Barré syndrome. And prior to that, he'd been to the Pro Bowl 4 straight times at center. And his return, a huge boost to the offensive line. Better to have him in uniform than coaching.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And the ball is knocked out. And the Texans scoop it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
That's caught. It's Thomas. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. 5 yards on the touchdown run. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. The give is to Elliott. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Give him 6 there, but now it's 3rd.
Complete to Amari Cooper. A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And you look at the numbers, not only has he not caught a pass, they haven't targeted him yet, and we're coming up toward halftime.
And you remember our meeting with the coach beforehand? What did he tell us about him? I write his number on my play sheet, and I circle it in bold type, because I want to make sure he gets the ball and often.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd and a yard, Watson, wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. It's a gain of 34. He had one touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here. A chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Watson steps away to his left. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans will extend their lead. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did. And
what did his offensive, remember we talked with the offensive line, and one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. If I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on second down. Prescott, and that's complete. It's the Carr-to-Cooper connection. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. A first down throw for Prescott. Looking for his tight end, Witten, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Now Watson being chased out left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
11 yards there. First down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Back to throw, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off, Byron Jones. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Fresno. 24.
Out of the gun, Watson. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
To throw is Watson. Buying time to his left. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Dancing to, and he will score. It's a touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. So they'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well. Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
He's got his target. It's Cobb. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it is for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
Throw left side complete. It's Elliott. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Next to score, Texans.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Watson on 1st down. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, it's Miller. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Check 13. Check 13.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach...
Oh, Prescott stripped. And the Texans scoop it. Taking it right down Broadway. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because...
You're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. But they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And this will be a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
The previous play is under review.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, They need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.